Hello and welcome to another episode of Change. With every episode of Change, there are new changes that you see. Changes in yourself, changes in the world around, changes in the people you live with. And if you observe very minutely, there's changes in the show, Change itself. Because every change, we talk about a different change. Each episode, we try to bring in a change in a different perspective. Have we changed our perspectives for a change is also a question to ask. Today we want to talk about the change in the competition. Mostly we hear people saying that we live in a competitive world. But was it always like this, or has it changed? Today we have Rajyoga Brahmakumaris Sister Usha with us. Didi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
When we look at the word competition, it means to compete with one another. And I think people say that competition is a very healthy word. And now, surprisingly, people also use the word. It is a healthy competition. If it is healthy competition, then I think there must be something unhealthy also.
Yes, definitely.
So suddenly we have this perspective of unhealthy competition and healthy competition. But otherwise, for a common notion, we all understood that competition was always healthy.
Yeah.
Nobody understood it was something unhealthy. But this thing has changed. People have started using the term healthy competition. Not many people use the word unhealthy competition. But if they are using the word healthy competition, what is not healthy?
Yeah.
So that is something I would want to know.
When we say unhealthy competition, means that when people get into that negative feeling of jealousy, and when they see someone is moving forward in a healthy way, then they try to use some such practices through which they try to bring down that person so that he does not come into the eyes of everyone and nobody would see him, oh, wow. That feeling of wow would not be there. So that is why whenever they use this practices of bringing other person down, you might have heard about the crab syndrome. In management, they use this word, the crab syndrome, that once there was a ship in which there was some crabs being exported from one country to another country. And when the ship reached the destination, the person who had imported those crabs, he came up to the ship to see whether all the boxes are well. And he found that a lid of one box was open. So then he said, well, I won't pay for this box because so many crabs must have gone out. He said, none of them would have gone out. Because if one would have climbed up, the others would have pulled down his legs.
So and that's what happens with crabs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is what is happening in the world today also. In the corporate world or in families also today, this trend has started coming that if one is moving ahead, the other one pulls him down so that he is not ahead of him.
So somewhere when we spoke about childhood, if there are two children in the family and they were promoted for a competition so that they compete and then they win and they will get prizes, but that has led into a place where we have a new term called sibling rivalry.
Yes.
So the rivalry between siblings has come in from the same competition.
Yes.
Now, it appears as if competition is all bad now. Is it so?
I would not say it is all bad, but definitely there are some negativities that has creeped into it, and that is why the psychology of the people is changing. And for that, trainings are introduced in sports as well. So that the participants also do not develop this unhealthy feeling or negativity against their own colleagues. That is why, so that they play as a team And when they play as a team, they can win. So that is why these trainings are introduced, and it is seen that the coach always makes sure that nobody gets into these negative feelings. That is what the duty of a coach is in any competition. Why they hire a coach? Because he sees that nobody fights amongst. Otherwise, they are going to lose any competition. So when there is this team spirit, and when it comes together, then only they will be able to give a better performance or a very good performance.
This is about team building and the coaching that helps, that brings in the team together. It is understood quite, because you are part of the same team and you would want to achieve the same goal, so you would have to let go of your personal smaller vision to participate in a greater goal. Agreed. When you're talking about sport, there are different sports. For say, Olympics happens every 4 years, and there's a huge sporting competition that all over the world people come to one place, they participate and they play and they win, and all of these things have happened. There are other sports also that we have seen. So many sports are happening. And the reason sports are happening is because there is a competition between one team and the other team, or one person or the other person. That is why people enjoy seeing it, because they support one team or support a person or a country. So this happens, and that somehow gives them, what would I say? It gives them a kind of joy, a kind of a high. There is some people who are passionate about sports, about their own teams. Sport, which was supposed to be fun, enjoyment, a game, turned out to be a dirty game, turned out to be, I would say, it was laden with brashness and harshness, and all of this happened. Competition is okay, it's a game and everybody is trying to win, but for the sake of winning, there is this, I would say, unpleasantness that is developing because of this
and
competition.
It is because some people, they are so much into it that they get aggressive, that they take it to the heart, and instead of that game is a game for enjoyment, it turns into a fight because of that aggressiveness that comes into it, or because they feel, no, we are the winners only, I should be the winner only. And so that is why they get into wrong habits as well. Like we find some people start taking steroids, and they start taking some injections or some medicines. And that is why nowadays, before going into any competition, their level of hormones and everything is measured, and it is tested whether they are healthy enough to participate or they have taken in something, because that is going to bring the aggressiveness only in them. Anything which is not natural. So when those artificial things are taken in, definitely it is going to bring out the negativity only. That will not bring out positivity. It will bring out the negativity only. And that negativity might turn into a very wild or dirty game, as you said. So that is why that sports which was for healthy, or where people really used to enjoy and feel light after playing, today has turned or taken such a form that where sometimes some people are afraid of participating also.
Because you never know that where you would be run down or be pushed back, or what would happen. When you were talking about sports and when you spoke about drugs and stuff, I was recollecting, especially athletes, they're not just competing against a person, but they are competing against themselves about their own previous records and stuff. But there is a mad sense of winning. It's about outbeating themselves or beating others. To do something better, they do not realize that what are we doing, why are we doing it, what cost we are doing. So the steroids and doping and all of this is quite common, not only in one sport, but it is pan sport, I would say. Every sport is saying this. And surprisingly, when we talk about winning, it must not come at the cost of other person's failure. You don't have to push someone to fall so that you could win. The word sport itself.
I remember that there was on the television only it was shown that some disabled children, they were taken into the sports so that they also develop that encouragement, and they also have this. So all those disabled people, and they were running to win that game. And it happened so that one boy fell. So the other one, who was just ahead of him, looked back. And then each one, all those disabled children, they all looked back. And when they saw he fell down, so he was like looking up at them. So they all came up to him. They all lifted him up. And they all picked up hand in hand together, all of them, and they all started running. And all came first. And everybody applauded so much that we should learn from this disabled children what real sports is. And in today's world, people, in order to win, they make others fall down. That was healthy. Those disabled children who were playing sports was very healthy. And they were like teaching a lesson to all those who were watching. And everybody started applauding for them. So that spirit. But I think in today's world, that spirit is gone.
Surprisingly, the word sport meant that. It is about being positive. It was about being motivated.
Yeah.
It was not about winning at all. Even now we use this word. When somebody is disappointed, when somebody has lost something, we say,
be sport.
Be a sport. Why are you thinking so much?
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a game. You can always come back to it.
Yeah.
But the real meaning of that sport has also gone.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about competition, when people wanting to exceed, wanting to succeed, wanting to achieve more than the other person, this somehow becomes an inner trait. I don't know whether positive or negative, but people pick it up as a trait. So everywhere, even in places when there is no competition happening, they somehow feel threatened by the other person trying to overtake me. In life, especially people who have come from sport or people who have come with this kind of mindset, even in their routine lives, they feel threatened by their own family members. Sometimes in marriages, this has happened quite an amount of time. People have seen that if your wife suddenly starts earning more than you, or if she gets a promotion, suddenly the husband feels offended.
Yeah.
And this women face in day-to-day lives today, especially because we speak of equality and women have come in all spheres of life and everywhere women are working and there are equal opportunities today. So they face discrimination because of this.
Yeah, definitely. But then I would say that let us take life in that manner. It reminds me of that beautiful analogy that life is like a cricket game. Just as in cricket, we find that there are two teams. One team is on the field, the other team is, the members are sitting somewhere far away, and two players come to play on the field. And when they start the game, there's like only the two from the other team who are there playing, they lean upon one another. They try to take support from one another because that's the only one. Others are all fielders.
Yes, and they are also from the opposite team.
Yes, and they are always waiting for that opportunity to
break their partnership.
Yes, to break the partnership or to see that he gets out. So always waiting for that opportunity. And whenever they miss that opportunity, everyone would be, oh no. So everybody is on that side only.
Yes.
Not on the side of the ones who are playing. All the balls with the bowlers throw at the players, none of the ball is of their choice.
And with the aim that the player has to be sent back to the pavilion. Yeah.
Yes. So, but still, the players, when they are enthusiastic, they play with that sport, and whatever type of ball comes, they try to hit a 4 or a 6, send it to the boundary. And when they are able to do that, that's when people are going to applaud for them.
Yes.
Yes. The team members who are sitting far off, they may be saying good words of motivation, but it doesn't
reach their ears because they're far off. Yeah.
Far off. So they are encircled by those fielders. Life is also such. We also will be in such a place or an organization where maybe our companion or our well-wisher will be only one.
Yes.
Our family members who really motivate us, who say good words of spirit to us, they are somewhere far off, whose words do not even reach our ears. And everywhere we are surrounded by fielders only. In any organization you find. And in that also, all the situations or circumstances, problems that come are not of my choice. But in that atmosphere, if still I am able to maintain my positivity and my spirit and do my best, bring out my best, that is when people are going to applaud and say, wow. So that is life. That is life. That's why it is said, life is a game, play it.
But when you say life is a game, play it, as much as we appreciate this, many people think that winning is important. That's the reason why we play, don't we?
Maybe because they are so much passionate about it, that for them, losing means as if the whole world is gone. As if the earth below their feet is just gone. So that is why they cannot appreciate that in losing also, they learn a lesson. They'll win the next time. So such people, maybe because from childhood, they've never experienced any failures in life. So sometimes failures are also good. Otherwise, if a person is always like winning because of some supports, and when those supports come out and he is not able to win in this competitive world, like small children, when they do something good, the parents would always say, wow, good, my son, you are great. Such words is always heard. Something he has done, encouragement, support, everything is given to him. But when, till school days, once the schooling is over and he enters the real world, which is a world of competition, definitely he is maybe miles away from the parents because of his job. He has gone to another city or another place or another country, and he cannot regularly phone his parents and ask them or seek some advice or anything. And there he is on the field where there are all competitors around him. He's surrounded by that. And he gives a good performance because of his creativity, but still no words of appreciation are said. And when no words of appreciation, and he has been habituated to listen to those words of appreciation from childhood till schools. So now there is no word of appreciation. That is when he thinks, what, I have put all my efforts. I've done my best and nobody is there to appreciate. That is when he slowly, gradually starts coming down. His spirit, his sportive nature starts coming down because there is no one to. So, we should train our children in such a way that today we are there to support you, to encourage you, to appreciate what you have done. But in practical life, maybe there will be no one around you. You may give your best performance. No one would say a word of appreciation because it is a world of competition. So there, sometimes stand in front of the mirror yourself, raise your right hand and
Pat yourself.
Pat yourself.
And say you've done well.
Yes, you've done well. This is how maintain that spirit. Otherwise, it is going to be very difficult. People will say such demotivating words to you. They'll bring down your spirit. This is practical world. But still, at such times, I feel that the spiritual energy really helps us. Because of the positive thoughts that we get through spirituality, those positive thoughts help us during such times also. And we feel as if, okay, there is somebody who is watching me from far away. And that is my special friend, God, my friend. And when I see Him, then I can feel that He is patting me. He is saying some words of encouragement. And that is when competition, we do not get into those unhealthy practices and we can still maintain our strength, energy and vigor to go ahead.
So what it really means is actually we are not here to defeat someone. It is not about we are here for getting appreciation from someone. It is about we making our effort, keeping our spirits up and enjoying the game as it is.
Yes.
So as long as I'm doing it, then there is no harm. Even if there are 100 people competing against me, if I do not have the desire to defeat them, but have a pure desire of giving my best and trying to win, that would lead you to success.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And when we listen to these things, it appears so simple that if we can do it in our lives, it could change the meaning of our lives as a whole. It could make our lives much more happier and simpler. The meaning of competition, the meaning of sport has come in its real sense out today. And if we appreciate it and if we allow it in our life to segregate and to be part of our life, then I think we can all succeed.
Yes,
we can
definitely.
all win. It is not a competition against one, but it's about putting our best out. And thank you so much for putting that best things out here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
My
Lily.
pleasure.
This was about competition. As much as we think that competition is all about winning, today we have understood it's about participating. It's about taking everyone together. It's about putting the best out in us. It's not about defeating the other person, but it's about the pure consciousness of doing something better, doing something greater. On this note, we leave you. In the next episode, we'll see you again. Till then, take care.